Welcome back to our Heritage Group channel. My name is G. We're featuring another white glove service car for you today. This is a 2003 Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. If you don't know about our white glove service, make sure to check it out on our website. That's where we help our clients get the best value for their cars at online auctions. And we take care of photography, videos, marketing, and auction management. For those of you that remember, this 911 was featured on our YouTube channel under our Meeting the Drivers series way back. This car used to belong to one of our friends, and he sold it to the next owner, and we're helping the current owner sell this car again. So starting from the exterior, this 911 is finished in guards red over black leather interior. The seats inside have been changed to Recaro pole positions with matching red backs, and the owner actually has the original seats that came with the car as well, and those will be included with the sale too. Through the years of ownership, this car has had a lot of mods and maintenance done. The most notable one being the suspension setup that's on the car right now, which is the Öhlins Road and Track system. It's got Eibach sway bars front and back, as well as the Tarrant Racing sway bar links front and back. And this car handles like a dream right now. It really feels like a GT3 Cup car for the street. Although it's pretty stiff and handles great, it rides very smooth on the highways and on the streets. So it's not one of those cars that will break your back. It'll just leave you smiling and wanting more. The braking on the C4S has been upgraded to Cebro slotted rotors, along with PFC Racing brake pads. It's also got Goodrich stainless steel braided brake lines, as well as the GT3 brake duct spoilers that were added too. When it comes to the suspension, the car has had a complete corner balance and alignment at apex alignments, and it handles like a dream. So let's talk about the engine for a second. Everyone knows that these 996 engines have an IMS bearing problem that causes the engine to seize, and fortunately the previous owner had changed the IMS bearing on this car, and right now the engine runs great, no problems whatsoever. And to add to the sound of this gorgeous 996, it's also had a Fabspeed carbon fiber intake installed and a SpeedTech high flow CAT and X pipe system. With the combination of the high flow CAT and X pipe system and the Fabspeed intake, the carbon fiber intake, it really makes a beautiful sound when you're getting on it. And when you're not on it, if you're just cruising on the highway, there's no drone, it's not loud, it's very quiet, and you could barely hear it. But once you step on it, it puts a big smile on your face and asks you for more. So moving on to the interior of the car, once you step inside, the first thing you'll notice is obviously these Recaro pole position seats, which hug you really tight. They feel great on long drives too, it's not backbreaking or anything. And you'll also notice the full black leather interior, which extends to the door panels, the dashboard, and the rear seats, as well as the Bose speaker system. Speakers sound great in the car, music plays very well, and all electronics internal inside the car work great as well, including sunroof, windows, AC, heater, all the lights, everything checks out. Another notable component or mod on this car is the shifter. I've driven a few 996s before, especially this one actually, when it was pretty much stock. And I could tell you there's a huge difference in the shifter and the shifter feel on this car. The current owner has upgraded it to the 997 GT3 RS shifter assembly and shifter linkage. It's so smooth, so tight, and so short. It just feels great driving and going through the gears. stock. And I've also driven other 996s as well, from Carrera 2s to the 4S to the GT2 to the Turbo. I could definitely see the resemblance from between this 4S and more of a GT3, just because of the way it's been set up, from the suspension to the shifting to even the sound. It sounds more like a GT3. As far as responsiveness, obviously this is a four-wheel or all-wheel drive, I should say, so it's very responsive. Not sure if you hear that, but that's essentially the brakes. So this car does have racing brake pads and the Cebro slotted rotors. It stops on a dime. It stops fantastic. The only thing is it does make noise. Since these are racing brake pads, the more it heats up, the more noisier it gets. I personally don't mind it. Being a driver myself, I enjoy all the sounds of this car. I don't even turn on a radio or anything. But if you are someone that would be annoyed by the sound of the brakes, all you need to do is just change the brake pads back to more OE compound. That way it'll quiet everything down. And when you get on the gas, it really pulls. Downshifts sound fantastic in the car. Steering is very responsive. It literally feels like you're on rails. It's just an absolute joy to drive. Those downshifts is what I live for. The exhaust with the high flow cats and the X-Pipe, it really makes a difference as far as making this car feel more alive. More both from sound perspective, how the car sounds, as well as the driving. The throttle response is a lot sharper than a stock 996 C4S. The clutch was also replaced by the previous owner. It grabs very well. There's no slipping, none of that. Shifts through all the gears very smoothly. So overall, this car is a fantastic car. If I were to rate it, I would probably give it around 8 or 9 out of 10. As far as visually, the paint's in great shape. It is the original paint on the car. The only part that's been repainted is this driver door, and you can't even tell. Otherwise, the drivetrain on the car, engine, suspension, everything functions flawlessly. I mean, it drives like a GT3. If you've driven a GT3 and you drive this car, you'll see the resemblance. It's very torquey because of the all-wheel drive system. Sounds fantastic and just sticks and goes wherever you need it to go. This car will be coming up to auction soon. If you want any more information on the car, make sure to visit our website until the auction listing goes live. You can visit our website at www.heritagegroup.com. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact us. Otherwise, we'll see you when the auction's live, and happy bidding.